Hi everyone, we are back to continue our little journey to in developing a standardized open source test-driven pair programming, .NET library for OpenAI. I kind of went ahead and just gave everyone kind of a 1 day break to kind of just recharge and kind of pick up, their themselves. I know that I've been throwing a lot of stuff, every day, and a lot of people have reached out to me and they said, slow down. I need to catch up on these sessions that you're having. The funniest comment of them all that I saw is the gentleman that said, darn it, Hassan, I was planning to watch a movie on a Saturday night and now I have to watch this. I thought that was I thought that was pretty funny. That was super funny. But a lot has happened, right? Since then, we since last time we were talking. First of all, that was the very first time I publicly do an integration test. Especially on live stream, not even the kind of recorded. So that was nice. But also, we kind of left an issue open here for everybody. Let's just go up in here and talk about this. We basically told everyone, hey, we need a new name, for the project because someone out there decided to, to just go ahead and kind of take, reserve the name for OpenAI.net. And I believe things happen for good reasons, and I think that's a good reason. Paul Wardy have been telling us for ages now, to prefix all of our libraries with standard so people know if I want to get this product, this high quality, state of the art software, I need to just look for standard and see what are all the libraries and all the offerings that can come outside of the box that is produced by this community. I used to think the opposite. I used to think we just should just put some products out there and let people use them, but this idea is not too bad as well. So Brian, I don't know if it was you or me, someone opened up a look at all the issues and the contribution. By the way, just the project is on fire. Right? I have 13 open pull requests. We already merged, I don't know even how we merged 51. We're going, right? We're flowing. This is happening, right? The issue that we have here, which I kind of pinned up in here, which was the name, right? So today we're gonna collect the votes. So unless you have a very strong opinion about some name or not, like I see standard.openai.net, I see OpenAI Core, OpenAI.net, super bad, don't do it. 5 votes up for standard.ai.openai. Standard AI is one. I see there's 10 in here. Standard.openai, right? So that's the highest vote. And then of course, Ashley had to he had to joke. By the way, this standard.ai.openai is not just my idea. I think Microsoft is following the same kind of SPAL pattern, consciously or non-consciously, because they basically went and said, okay, we're going to offer a lot of services. So here's our Azure library. It's going to be azure.ai.openai,
Mm.
right? A couple of people told me that they're super frustrated with the library. They've been playing around with it and they're not getting what they want out of it. But I think what's lovely about this is that if we do standard.ai, we can later do OpenAI, we can later do, Bard. Bard is now active. Bard is now alive, right? So we want to integrate with Bard. We want Bard, we want to incorporate everybody, right? We want to be able to kind of learn, how to use all of these systems and what these systems kind of, do, right? So we need to leverage all these capabilities. So Bard is live. I want to be able to integrate Bard. I kind of signed up to it earlier, and it's neat. I said to it, "What do you think about Chat GPT and OpenAI AI?" And it said something weird. I don't know if it's going to produce the same answer, but it said to me that they've had good discussions. So I don't know. I was able to. There it is. It is able to have conversations. Can answer blah blah. They have taken. Oh, did they change it? It could be used. Yeah. Earlier when I asked it this question, it said we had some good conversations. Like Bard and ChatGPT had some good conversation. I don't know if some of you have heard about this, but there was, and I think in MIT they developed a system where AI got so smart they wanted to kind of exclude humans out, so they invented a natural language that only the AI bots can understand. They kind of locked everyone in the lab out, by developing a new language in like 10 minutes, right? And they found the weakness of the people in the lab. They basically, like the AI system basically said, how can I not allow humans to kind of listen in on these conversations? Let's just make up a natural language like that. And they did. I don't know if I can find this. AI develops its own language. It was very popular. Artificial intelligence developed. Yeah, there it is. An artificial intelligence developed its own non-human language, right? And that's how they cut all the humans out of the communications. It was weird. It was really weird. And it just went on. They freaked out. They had to pull the cord on that one. They were like, this thing went rogue, right? But what is on the bright side of things? I'm gonna copy something Rami said in the chat earlier today. I thought, it was really nice. So what Rami said, he said, here is why I'm interested in AI. One of the things that he said is that he said, I expect it will try to reduce world hunger, cure diseases, lessen pain, eradicate exploitation, and etc. So it can be used for good reasons. It's like selling a knife. You could use it to harm someone, or you can use it to cut apples and feed people. It's up to you what you're gonna do with it, right? Except that this knife is very powerful, very, very powerful beyond anything. Okay, so this is a topic. So I think we're gonna have to make a decision. So are we okay with standard OpenAI? Do we want to do standard AI.OpenAI? What do you guys want to do?
Hey, that's my recommendation there, but I actually like standard.ai.openai. I think would be
Okay,
better. Mhm.
okay,
For
we'll
me,
do
same.
Mhm.
same thing. What do
Yeah.
you think,
I,
Kay? Go ahead, Brian.
no, 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 it's all right. Okay,
Okay,
please.
Did someone say standard.ai.openai?
yeah, the name for the library.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I think that's good.
So what
I
the
think that's
community
good.
want to do is that all the libraries that we produce, they want it to be prefixed by the standard, right? So people, I don't know even to call it the standard, it just looks bad, unless we wanted to make it all uppercase, which even gets worse. So do we just say standard?
You can say the dot standard dot AI.
I thought about that, and then I thought, well, the dot is not an organization, like that is not an organization. Right. I also thought about something ridiculous. Do you know what I thought about? I thought about going full Tupac Shakur on this one. So I thought, why would we call it this when we can just call it the standard? Or make it even worse, we could go and say the standards with the Z. And then, we can go far with this. So say mom mobile homeboys. What's tripping?
that
Uh,
In the woods.
that
That would be a
that
nice library name, I think.
that
can we just
make
add
us
dot?
look like that make us look like a bunch of teenagers.
Oh, come on.
I never, I never grew out of that stage. Up until very recently, that's how I used to talk to people, and then people said, you're over 30 now. You should probably. I think it's time. It's time, Hassan. Rami says there's a Nuget package called Standard. I know some dude out there, but we never are producing standards. It's either Standard Core, Standard that, Standard this, Standard SDK, unless someone just listens in on this kind of podcast and, well, it's really a podcast or a stream and goes and basically says, yeah, there is standard in here. I'm aware of that. I don't know even what it does. Like, there's no description, nothing. Lizzo standard framework. That's it, right? So I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna call it that. So I wanted to try something new, right? Of course, the obvious is that we go and rename every single namespace and all of that stuff. Hi, Amitya. Nice to meet you. Nice to have you in the stream as well. The What I'm gonna try to do, first of all, let me just walk everyone through the kind of release process, right? The first thing you want to do, you want to switch over to, well, let me open up the solution first and let me get latest. There have been a lot of pull requests. By the way, just extremely grateful for the people that go after the tiny things, the little things. You guys should see the PRs that I can't say his name fully, but it's something to the effect of Gum Gummy. Gamimandor, something like that. There's also, PRs opened by, Rami. He kind of really simplified the dependency injection part. I like that a lot. He made it look a lot like ASP.NET, even though it's not. So people that come from ASP.NET, background, they look at that, be like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with that service collection and all that. I can do that instead of the whole builder stuff that I was doing. But also, um, there is. Um, there's just a lot of good little tiny things that the team have been kind of working on. I have been merging this all day. I appreciate the contribution there. Brian, one of the things that people told me about is that, this is their very first engagement in open source at all,
Mm-hmm.
which is fantastic. It's really, really good. I appreciate that. I appreciate that we're kind of bringing people in to try something like this. Okay, Jerry Santana says, in my opinion, standard sounds like a .NET standard library, which might be confusing between .NET standard with .NET Core. What should we call it? I mean, we have a thing called the standard, Jerry, and you know, I I wish there was a better option. We just can't think of anything unless we
Mm,
come up with
Put
kind of a. Go ahead, Kailu.
put some French word or Spanish word in front of the standard, like la standard or lost standard or whatever.
Oh well, we have Mabruk here. He speaks like
Le,
5 languages. Mabruk, what's standard in French?
le standard.
Le standard. Lu, L-O,
LE. L,
L-U, L-E.
LE.
LE, list
Yeah,
standard.
le standard.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I just want to try something first. If I go to publish this, you want to switch this to release, right? So that's number one. And I will also talk a little bit about a thing called Dependabot and what does that mean and all that. There's some very interesting things that people are bringing. You see how when you open source something like this, everyone has a piece of knowledge that you don't know. And if you treat them nice and make things inviting, if you create an inviting culture, they will share with you the one thing that you don't know. Sometimes maybe it's more than one thing, right? And that's how you build great projects. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep this on the kind of startup project. How do you even like publish a library? If you go to the properties section of any .NET class library, you'll see that there is a nice thing down here called package. And this package here says, give me all the information that, the system is going to be using to be able to kind of produce this, right? So I can go here and say, okay, if I'm calling this standard.ai dot OpenAI like this, so here's that part, so that's the title. And then the package ID, we can control this. Like right now, it's just reading the assembly name, but we can totally control this. We can just go and say, no, I want it to be this way. Okay. And then, package version. Yeah, I'm okay with the package version. You have the authors. In the authors, I'm just going to type in the standard community. That's the author. In the past, I used to put my name and then someone else comes in and I put their name and then someone else comes in and put their name. But now, if I just put one name or another, that's unfair because everybody literally contributed to this, right? We all kind of chip in. Let's just call it the standard community. How about that? And then company, again, the standard community like that. And then you have the product. The product is standard dot AI dot open AI, right? And then this here would be a standardized .NET library for OpenAI integrations. Okay? And then in here, copyrights, for everybody. So I'll just say the standard community 2023, something like that. And then project URL, which is basically just the GitHub URL, that I'm gonna take from OpenAI in here. So let's just go up in here and put that link over here. And by the way, just so people know, I'm planning to move a lot of these. I'm planning to create an organization called the Standard Community, and then or the Standard, and then I'm gonna have everyone in there, and then there will be a lot of people that have access, to power. This is literally what it means to be a 10x developer, not to be better than 10 people, but scale up to have 10 more people, just as efficient and as performant as you. That's at least my definition of it. It's not a competition. We're trying to do good for people. So, okay, the icon though, we need to find an icon. And if you go on to this one here always bothers me because I always kind of spin around in circles, I'll tell you what I usually do here. I'll just find in uh, the URL for the kind of destination here. And then inside OpenAI, there is this PNG that I have in there. I will upload this. I know people have opinions and they want to, have a different, pictures and whatnot. For now, I'll just keep this as a placeholder. We can always change it. We can always change it. Okay, so this project URL, it's also the repository URL, and then I'll just say git, and then tags, I don't know, AI, semicolon delimited, open AI, .NET, what else? Chat
Artificial
GBT,
intelligence. Yeah,
oh
sorry.
yeah, okay, sure. Artificial intelligence, okay, and
The
then really
standard.
the standard, okay,
Yeah.
the standard, right? And then in here, I'm gonna say this is a beta release for completions capability like that. And then pack as .NET tool, no. So just for people that want to know what that is, when you do .NET run whatever, you can now pack these libraries or packages as a tool, that can generate code for you and do all that kind of stuff. So this is good. Um, a simply version, yeah, I'm calling this 0.1 because we don't have an actual release. So the real so when you talk about versioning, there is major release, there is minor release, minor change, and then there is just a revision or iteration. There's actually science behind this. So when you're kind of giving versions, you also have to pay attention that what do these versions mean, right? So it's usually major, minor, and then revision. Some teams, big teams, you'll see them do major, minor, and then revision, and then build, right? So revision is usually just quick fixes, hot fixes, all that. Minor, just tiny changes, still feature updates. Major is a major, breaking change. They call it a breaking change. If you upgrade from 3 to 4, some things will break. And then build, literally every time they spin a build, right? You'll see it in video games. You'll see it a lot in places where, and there's different theories about this. This is not the only theory about how to name things. So when I basically go and say this basically is me just saying, hey, this is beta. We're really just trying to get something out the door. It doesn't really mean anything yet. We will have a more systematic way of kind of announcing, okay, we're done with the chat, we're done with the image, we're done with all of these pieces. We'll see how that works. Package license, there's embedded file, and we need a file for that. Usually the license can be just a txt file. So I'm just going to create a tiny item in here. I'm going to call it license.txt like this. And inside this license, I'll just go steal the one that I have in RESTful Sense and all these different places. So let me just pick up RESTful Sense. Here is my license txt. And then I'm just going to pick up, it's pretty much, MIT licensed. I, I usually, well, at the beginning, I used to do GNU license, but GNU is brutal because GNU is basically meaning if anybody uses this library, they have to open source it. That's too much, right? So MIT is usually the most forgiving of them all. This is 2023, the standard community. Okay, and then up here, I'll just say standard AI.OpenAI, .NET library or something like that. right? You can go through these, see what it means and whatnot. Licensing is very important. A lot of engineers, when they start in their lives, to be like, oh yeah, I want to help the world. Let me put things out there. Like, well, you need to be able to pay your bills first, and then when you have this domain system that you're building, you're gonna need some tools on the side. Go ahead and open source these tools, right? Make money out of your domain, open source your tools. That's usually my kind of way of doing things. Okay, so if I go back to this, I should be able to kind of find the license file. There it is. This is gonna break, by the way. I don't know why, but it does break, and I have to kind of spin in circles until I get it to work. There's require license acceptance. That's basically when you try to install a NuGet package, it has to pop up that dialog, and you have to click accept, right? So you're basically admitting that we, as a standard community, are not responsible about any damages that this library could cause. Like, this is your own responsibility, right? The code is open source. The code is documented with video, so you know exactly how the code was written. You have all the documentation you need. If you go and do something stupid with it, we're not responsible. This is your fault. Okay, so that's how I kind of make sure we continue to do fun live streams instead of all of us going to jail, because we don't want jail is not fun. We don't want to go to jail. Jail is not fun. So there's that, and I know in different countries and different places they have different. This is just us saying, hey, we're building something fun. Go ahead and use it at your own risk, basically. Okay, wow. I don't know why this built. I'm surprised, but I did a rebuild and it basically did this for me. That's great. Now, what I want to do is go and show you what this looked like, this file that I just published, what it looks like. So I'm going to take you here to my navigator. Where is my window? And then I'm going to go into the OpenAI.NET. I'm going to go into bin. I'm going to go into releases, .NET 7, and well, it didn't release it. When it releases it, it produces a little file called Nuget. That's why it
Did you
didn't.
check the option in the build?
Yeah, we have to, right?
Yeah.
So
Don't you
where,
right click and hit pack?
Should be
uh,
generate produce package file. This is
Mm.
on the top. This one.
where?
In general, package general, first option that you have.
Oh, on here? Yeah, usually you just build it and it just creates it for you.
Oh yeah. So my Brooks talking about that tick.
Oh, the tick where? The
First
pack
one.
first bar. Help me out. Tell me what you're talking about.
Just next to
Here
general
in
there.
yeah.
Too
On the
many
screen
people.
at the moment.
Mhm.
At the moment on the screen next to
Oh yeah,
general.
produce a package. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep.
That
Yeah, it should break. Usually it does. If it doesn't, then maybe someone final. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Actually, it did work. So look at this. If I go into the what it did here, so we have a standard.ai.openai 11100. Why did it 100? Because I missed a couple at the top. Let me just fix that real quick. If you look at here, there you go. So this is 10 like that. And then let's see where else does it have that. Yeah, this is all good. Does the README document for the package may be marked down? Yes, it is, and we do have it. So let me kind of also point it out to the README, which is in here. We have a README. Great. Now let's just rebuild this. Wow, this is great. This is a great day, you guys. I'm really happy. This is just working out. And here's the package. So once you do this build and you just want to make sure that you're on release, you have this little guy in here, right? That's the guy that we're going to go to NuGet and upload it and tell people, hey, go ahead and use it. So are you ready for this? This is a big moment. We're going to go release our very first library. It's going to be great. Brian, I should probably also create like whatchamacallit, a standard community account, right? So the account is owned by the standard community and people will be able to kind of use it and all that. Okay, I need to log in with different accounts. Hi, Yusuf.
It's on. Took a minute to join, but I'm here.
How are you
Thanks for
doing?
having me. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Ooh, your voice just changed all of a sudden. Are you still with us here?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Let me kind of do all the little craziness to kind of log in. All right, I'm logged in. Just for the people that are wondering, who is this random dude that just walked in? This is Yusuf Kaur. He's a great friend of mine and super enthused about AI and .NET and the standard, and has been kind of taking the standard and going and teaching it to people at the University of Washington, and helping people do their resumes during layoffs and stuff like that. A great guy, and I told him come help us with this project and hang out with us, and he said, yeah,
Here I am.
show me the way.
Yeah.
Where are you? I don't see you.
Well,
Why are
I'm
you
in my.
hiding?
So I took the laptop in my room, and so it's like there's not really a lot of light. I'm just gonna look like a creature or a villain. So when I go back into the living room and there's light in the morning, perhaps yeah,
Okay, next session. Okay.
yeah.
All right, let's upload this thing. Did it actually pick up the stuff that we asked for? Yeah. So the package ID is going to be standard.ai.openai. Fantastic. Let me zoom in just for people a little bit. And here's the license file. And here's .NET 7. It has all this. I know, Rami, I know. You're probably going to say, oh my God, I did create a PR to remove the hosting. There will be more releases. Don't worry about it. The title, Standard AI, OpenAI, Standardized .NET Library. Release notes. This beta release for completions capability. Here's the logo. Here's the authors. Here's the copyrights. And here's the documentation right here. And we get to kind of edit this a little bit. Like if this doesn't look so good, we can kind of
And
modify it.
also,
Yeah.
Nuget organization will not understand the code here. In the documentation,
Mm.
there's code for Icon. The
Oh, no, I
Icon,
know. They
yeah.
have, it's funny though, because Nuget.org is owned by Microsoft and GitHub user content is owned by Microsoft and it's blacklisted. Go figure, right? Yusuf, that never happens,
No,
right?
it happens all the time.
So, anyway, here we go. Submitting this library, right? And we're gonna wait just a couple of seconds, and then I need everybody here. Brian, I probably might shoot it over to you just to kind of bring in the library in a console application
Mhm.
and announce the very, very first beta. See how I worked around renaming the entire project?
Nice.
I swear to God, man, I never done this before. I'm just driving home and I said, am I really gonna sit on a stream for 2 hours just renaming a bunch of namespaces? Is this really the showstopper? Right? But and then I thought to myself, no, wait a second. This is binary. I don't know where this is coming from, Brian. It's just something that hits me and then I know what to do, right?
Mhm.
If I ever take credit for these things, just call me a liar. I don't know how this is happening, but it is happening. So
Uh,
look, guys, like our work have come into fruition. I can see, the this is a big moment, right? I see people saying congratulations and all that kind. This is a big moment because now the community gets to see truly the end to end. We started from an idea, from creating. Do you remember, Brian, just a week ago, we created a new repository, and
Yep.
now we have a thing living, breathing in Nuget.org. That's pretty sweet, right? Um, so once that's published, I will call it a wrap. I will discuss some topics and issues that people have brought up and whatnot, and then we're gonna plan the second sprint. The second sprint will be us working on do you want to do the fine tuning models? Do you want to do the images? Do you want to do the voice? What do you want to do? While this is working here, I'm just going to go to playground. The second iteration for us will be let's just find the API reference here. So here it is. So we did the authentication. We did making request models. There's chat. So there's an
Mhm.
endpoint actually called /chat/completions, right? So that's an endpoint. There's endpoint called edits/edits. There's endpoint called /images. This is beta. I'm going to talk to the team about how do you make a library tell the end user that this is a beta, use at your own cost. Can be, so we have all these endpoints that we really need to develop. We have a lot of work ahead of us. We need to do a lot of things, right? Do you want to do the chat? We could do the chat. chat works? Do you want to do that?
Did you do completions already?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, this library is completions.
Okay.
End to end. Test driven
Well,
integration tests.
oh, I meant like the endpoint completions.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
That's what this library is.
I see. Yeah, yeah.
We are live.
Pretty cool.
How cool is that? The whole journey, right? End to end, right? So okay, let's just make sure before we celebrate too early. Let's just make sure that it works. So Brian, I'm handing over to you to kind of give it a test. Sorry, I'm putting you on spot. You're gonna have to try it out. So just so people understand what we're gonna do now, we're gonna create a brand new project from scratch. Like we don't know anything, and we're gonna try to pull in this library and run a completion request and see if it works. Always double, triple, quadruple test, even if you're doing things on beta, and see how that goes. Let's do it, Mr. Parker. We should probably, and this is just an issue for the community, we should probably at some point in time think about um, not having the library published under .NET 7, but maybe .NET Standard or something like that. Maybe we should probably talk to Christo and Dennis and these folks to see what they have to say about that. Okay. Let's find out if it's available. It should.
Yes, it is. I'm the first one that installed this library in the world.
Nice. You're the first download. So
Well,
AI.OpenAI.
You can scroll. You need to scroll it, but then you'll find it.
Oh
there it
my
is.
God, there it is. You're not kidding. Look at that. Let's do it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, look, that's that little accept button that I told you about,
So,
when you download and install. Okay, Brian, take it home. You can, if you want, you can literally copy the integration test. That's an option. Or you can just write one from scratch. That's fine too.
we can write one from scratch. So,
Let's do one from scratch. Let's do it.
so,
This will
Have
be the.
that.
Uh-huh.
so we're going to create a new client.
So let's start with the configuration. Should just type in var OpenAI API configuration.
It was just API configuration, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm making the variable look better. And I think Raf Sanul Hassan, he also said, why are you calling it that? You should call it OpenAI API configurations. It's so a lot of code rubs, a lot of code rubs, a lot of things that we need to do. New, and then it will be API config. Yeah. I mean, you built the library, you may as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so open close squigglies on these, Brian, instead of
Yep.
the parentheses, and let's just pass in, although no, API configurations, plural. Another reason Rafsanul Hassan is right, Okay, let's open squigglies here and let's just pass in some stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so we want an API key and an organization. You can hide that part however you like, or if you want me to generate a quick key for you, I can do that as well. Whatever works.
Got a question for you guys. I'm going to put in a PR. In your environment variables, you just call this this, right? And I think they should align. That's just my thought there.
I agree.
Yep.
Sounds good. We don't need the URL. It's already
No,
pre-configured,
it
right?
defaults that. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to pass me
Yeah.
that stuff?
Yeah, I'm sending you these things over. So here's this is just temporary, so I will delete it right after, but here is a key. View API keys, generate a key, copy key. I sent it to you over the private chat over here. And
Yep.
then also the organization ID is, let's see here. Here's the org ID. Also over
So
there.
we're making these. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Now what?
Better build our client.
Let's build the OpenAI client.
Hmm.
Hmm. That one is really called OpenAI client, so we did good with this one. Hmm. Good. Hmm.
So what do you call that pattern there? I've seen that in a couple of different libraries where you're creating a client, you create a configuration first. Is it just to consolidate the information you need to pass into the client?
Yeah, it's really just in its essence just object oriented. You're objectifying everything, and you're
Mm,
basically saying your configuration is an object, your client is
mm,
an object, your request is an object, and you're
I
just
see.
kind of integrate. But in all honesty, Yusuf, some people are kind of pushing me now towards another direction, which is Fluent API. So instead of Brian doing all that, it would just go and say API client with completions request, async. So it's kind of like the entity framework when you're setting up, a primary key and relations and stuff like that.
I see. Interesting.
We'll definitely make this happen. We'll definitely make this happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, this one is a string array, right? Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
why is the prompt a string array in this regard?
Because it's multiple prompts, and there is a PR open to call it actual prompts because you're sending multiple tokens and multiple messages. So multiple sentences that has multiple tokens in them.
So you can send like a question that's like, question one, what's 2 + 2? Question three, what's,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know, is that new or has that always been part of the
Always
API?
as
Oh,
as
really?
far until a week ago. Until a week ago it is.
Okay, okay.
But by the way, Yusuf, we're interfacing with OpenAI API directly, not the Microsoft one. This is the actual OpenAI, the company itself.
Like dot OpenAI dot like the .com like that direct. Yeah,
Yes.
okay, that's the one. I actually haven't used the Microsoft version. I don't know if
Okay.
it's different or not, but
There's one with Azure and someone, I think it was Monk or someone on the
oh right,
community.
yeah,
They
yeah,
said to me, Hassan, I tried it with the models and it's kind of a little bit different. So I was
yeah.
like, okay, well, that's great.
That's
All right,
interesting. Yeah.
Brian, moment of truth. Let fly. Do a console print out and then print all the prompts from result.
Okay, so we got results dot.
No, 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 no. Do this. Do this.
I was going to do the clever thing you showed the other day.
Well, you start with array then.
Isn't it already an array in the
Try it. Try it. Try
Yeah.
it. I love Brian Parker. He's great. He's great.
So we can just put in console write line, can't we?
Nope. Nope. It's not work.
For each.
Okay.
You're right.
Do
No,
this.
yeah.
Just do this. Type in array. Remove that line and just type in array. Uppercase A. And then type in dot for each. And then pass in result dot response dot choices. And then comma, and then pass in console dot write line. That's the
Okay.
smart thing.
Okay, what wizardry is this?
I mean, for loops are so old school, man. We're done with this.
That's crazy.
We love this thing. It's just too much. It's just too much.
Okay. So
It is a
Now, I
great
know
thing.
that in some regards, when you get the data back from OpenAI, sometimes they parse it out. Are you returning the entire completion or just the
It's the completion has a request and a response, and we're just focusing on the response part. Oh,
okay?
just print it out, Brian. Don't debug it. Just let it fly.
okay.
Show us your console app.
I lost it
Uh-huh.
again. Hang on.
It's somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't. Why it didn't work?
Because they
Oh,
weren't string.
okay, because
Which?
choice is an object, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ah, well, the wizardly didn't go through the way we expected, but you know, maybe just look at the debugger and the watch and see what's happening there.
Yeah, I don't think they show up on the stream.
Yep.
But also, if you're printing out the choice, I feel like that's going to be different than like you can stream a response back from OpenAI, and it gives you like that chat GPT kind of feel where it's like you get multiple lines, multiple words. I feel like the choice is like a smaller, like it's like a subset or like the first line, I
Yep.
think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brian, if you click view, it will, yeah, there it is. There is no single solution to world hunger, but there are a number, and you probably need to increase the number of tokens so I can give you, put the tokens to 400, Brian, and let's run it again. Let's see what happens.
But I'm
By
not,
the way, at this point, the library works.
yeah, wait, but I don't know if the token increasing is it the issue?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got cut off because it ran out of tokens.
Oh, so when you run completion endpoint and you get the choices back, instead of streaming an entire result, you're just getting a certain set of tokens back. And you have to specify, oh, I only want, oh, that's really interesting. Hassan, my hackathon project, the way we trained OpenAI was to basically parse a string, pick out a date, a date, a person, and the description of a meeting from a sentence, like schedule a meeting with Ryan talking about apples, and it would take the talking about apples, make that the meeting title, take Ryan, make that the person, and then would also search for the person in your org for Microsoft Graph. And I could have had it only send back a certain set of tokens because it would send back the right JSON for like the first curly brackets, and then the second like and third would be a little bit off. So that would have actually helped. Max tokens is actually kind of useful in this regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Brian, put a breakpoint on line 33. We want to read the.
It's not stopping. It actually timed out that last previous one. There we go.
Yeah, there it is. So now just open up the quick view. Yeah. There you go. Click that.
I see.
Oh my lordy lord. There you go.
Yes.
So it looks like the library works. We made it. We made it, my dear friend, to the other side. You know, it's clean. You configure, you pass in, it's test driven, it's solid engineering. The best I can do, you know, at this point in time. Actually, I'm wrong. Tomorrow I'll probably tell you, hey, I figured out a way to make it even better. But, you know, because of the community continuously just sharing new ideas and new thoughts, I love this work. We made it. It's over. So just so you guys know, the next step for us would be chat, right? We need to chat. So I'm planning our sprint here. This time, as you can see, like I already walked the whole team through the process, right? We need to scale, we need to fan out. What that basically means is that some people will be working on the chat, some people will be developing the edit, some people will be developing the model. You know, we're gonna fan out. I already showed you the way, end to end, right? We did the model, we did the service, we did the brokers, right? We did all these little things. So let me just go back here to the screen and kind of share how our next sprint is gonna look like, right? And you know, slowly but surely, you guys will be able to see how that looks. So here's GitHub. I'm going back to our, this is how you plan a sprint, basically. You know, you basically go and say, okay, here's my project. And what we need, really, you know, is that we want a, so this is release publish Nuget package complete. It feels good when I push these cut tickets across the board. So okay, here's brokers, right? And we want to post chat to OpenAI. So that's one task. We want a service foundations. What's a good word for chat, Brian? When you send the chat, is it like a prompt or should we say
Yeah, it's
prompt?
a tough one. Yeah, prompt. But prompt is used in the other one as well. So
Do we say message? Message async?
yes.
Yeah.
Or send message, Hasty.
Send message, right? And then the last one is the client, right? Which is the exposure, send message, right? And then the last one is, to go ahead and basically say infrastructure release. 4 pieces. And now in this little board in here, I'm just going to go ahead and basically convert each and every one of these into an issue. So it turns it immediately into an issue like that. And that will be our sprint. That's going to be what we work on in the next sprint. Very similar, very, very straightforward. Exactly the same things that we did in the previous sessions, except of course, you're going to be thinking a lot more about, okay, what does it mean to, kind of, develop this. The one thing that you're going to be putting most of the energy on is the model. Once you figured out the model, everything already, you have an example in this repository. Acceptance, integration, oh, actually, I should probably do that. Hold on. So these are their own independent tasks. Sorry, Elbic, I'm taking your your authority here over the sprint, but here's acceptances, send message, and then we also want integration test, integrations, send message. Can anyone here tell me why I didn't write unit? Why am I just writing tests for acceptance and integrations, but not unit test? What's that all about?
Because unit is baked in the foundations.
Yeah, you can't develop the feature without a unit test. You just can't. So it's baked in. So these are the tasks for this week. If we do one every day, which I think foundations might take just a tiny bit, but we already have done it before. Handling exceptions, I want everyone in the community to go back and watch all these sessions that we've made, and that's really the pathway. If you want to develop something useful, solid, something that you can use. And believe me, like what I'm doing right now is to reach out to a lot of people and say, hey, how can I help your business, using ChatGPT, using OpenAI, kind of expand it. So we're going to be relying a lot on that foundation, and hopefully people will find some usage into it and be happy learning it. Okay, friends. So with no further ado, of course, we are missing something. Brian, you saw that when you're using the library, it's pulling in namespaces that do not correspond with the name of the package. So obviously, we have a high priority issue in here. CodeRub rename the entire project. So new name for every namespace, project, and solution should be standard.ai.openai, and that's that. I will wait until tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard. And if no one picks this, I'm just gonna pick it and run with it and do it just one
I will
shot.
do it. I will do it.
Okay, you're already claiming it? All right, I'm gonna assign it to you
I'm
then. Here's my Brook.
okay.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're gonna be
A
fasting and you're
pleasure.
gonna be tired. You know that, right? It's really gonna get on your nerves.
Yeah.
All right. So I can happily now just kind of close this. I'll be like, we settled after consulting with the standard community. We settled on standard AI, open AI. That's the package, and I'm closing this issue. Great community contributions, super democratic, process. We're letting everyone do their own kind of contribution to the project. And of course, I'm going to go through all the PRs. Elbic helped me out with this, just the PRs, leave comments. There are things that are obvious and things that you're not sure. Just reference me and call me out, and we'll review and do that. I know also that Daniel Crane wanted to do code reviews, so Daniel, by all means, go in there. Uh, that's it for the day. Christians, comments, anything? You guys, you created a product.
Yep.
You created a solid product, so be happy and celebrate. And
Thank you everyone in the community. So
really, I
yeah.
swear to God,
We're,
Brian, what the heck? Like,
we're getting a lot of polish on this. We've done a good job, and all the little things that everyone's picking up is just adding extra spit shine to the product. So I'm really happy.
absolutely,
Hassan,
100%.
did you push the changes that you did for the package?
Oh, that's a great Great question. Oh, thank you, Mabruk. That's great. Okay. Users Hassan Habib releases. That's the thing. And then
Mm.
version one point. Thank you so man. You know, Brian, I can't believe this community. I swear to God, man, we're lucky. So releases version 0. And this is our very first person release. Here's a push. Let me create a pull request. You know, you could have just told me that after that. You had to do it. You know, okay. I appreciate it. I think it's good. I think it's good. So okay, here's a pull request. This really wraps up and brings us all up to speed to this. And you know, I really like just so you guys understand, I really want people to kind of take these patterns. It's not just the OpenAI library, but I want you to take this pattern that we did and apply it to your own project. Go out there and think about an idea and do the exact same thing. And hopefully there will be enough projects in the community where we have more and more of these streams, you know, and kind of help people kind of get up to speed to this. Anyway, just to wrap up, thank you all so very much. I appreciate you all. You know, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please feel free to drop a comment in the comment section or join us in the standard community. You know, don't forget to donate. We have the donate button on this side, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you all. Thank you all so very, very, very much. Take care. Bye.